and we are here with Todd Falcone. And you guys probably already know who he is from the last time I did the interview.
The last interview, we were freezing outside, yeah.
Right, so here we are in Arizona, in Todd's house, in his studio. He did a nice job putting the foam on the walls. So the nice sound, and he offered to do it in the pool, but I refused, right?
No, she just forgot her bathing suit. She didn't refuse, so I made it impossible.
Okay. So Todd, if you could share for people who don't know who you are, just a little bit, just a 2-minute commercial.
2-minute commercial. 23 plus years in network marketing. I started virtually right out of college. Got asked to go to what I thought was a job interview and ended up looking at network marketing, and the concept made sense to me. The idea of like making money on the efforts of other people and having that leverage aspect of, you sell stuff and you recruit people and you make money on what they do and you make money on what you do, and I don't know, that the concept made sense to me, and so I started that journey, and it's been it's been 23 years that I've been doing it, and it's not all been milk and cookies. I've had to work hard, and I've had my rear end handed to me a couple times, and you just keep on charging. And about 10 years ago, somebody asked me, I had a company I was with for 11 years that went out of business, and the guy said, hey, you want to do a training for my group? And I was like, what do you want me to talk about? He's like, dude, talk about prospecting. That's what you do. I was like, okay. So I ended up doing, getting into this whole speaking side of the business, which I've been doing now full time for like the last 10 years. So, a door of opportunity opened up for me about a decade ago to speak and train and coach, and was never part of the plan, but I walked in that door, and that's what I do. So
I actually got a question on Facebook concerning that. They say, why do you coach and teach if you have the ability to build? Do you still actively
I have
build?
17,000 people in my downline in a company I'm building right now, so I don't use my authority on stage and it's a very doing what I do, you really have to be coming from a strong ethical place, because when I go speak for a network marketing company, I'm on stage, and all the lights are on me, and I'll always have somebody come to me like, hey, well, what company are you in? And I could easily go, well, I'm in such and such a company, come on over and work with me. But I do that one time and my reputation's over. So you can't, I've got 10 years of being an active network marketer and speaking at the same time. So when I go speak for a network marketing company, the hat that I'm wearing is, okay, I've got, over 20 years of in the field network marketing experience that I'm teaching your reps. I don't need to get up there and talk about my deal, and I don't need to be there to take people to my deal. So when people go, why is he teaching and not doing? The reason they don't know that I'm doing is because I don't go all over Facebook and promote my opportunity. Most people don't even know I'm in a company.
Okay. Another question I have is, if everything was taken away from you, you just had your experience of being in the network marketing, what would your advice be to people who just start over? What, the steps you should take, or...
Starting over, you mean what, if you already acquired the skills and all of that? Is that...
Right, if you... For example, you didn't have the authority like you say you had, but you knew the basics, what you should do.
Yeah.
What tools would you use, and what would you advise to new people who...
I would find a company that matches me here. You can't do something just for the money. Mm-hmm. If you do things just for the money, you end up making bad decisions, and those decisions, can be, I don't know, you can just make really poor decisions if it's just based on money. If you're making real heart decisions for yourself and your family's future, that's one thing. So you go find a company that you feel matches what, that pulls on your heartstrings, and you look at the company and you do your analysis, and okay, do they have a legitimate product, and is this product, is there a market for this, and what kind of tools and systems do they have in place, and then you pull the trigger and you put your head down and you charge, and you have to go into it with the right kind of expectations, because it depends on how fast you want to build. I see people who get into something, they'll build it for 2 years, and they're not making enough money, and they're complaining, and then they want to go do something else. But then really what they need to do is go in the bathroom and look at themselves in the mirror and say, did I really give this all that I'm capable of? Did I give it all that I've got? And you have to be honest there, because you know, I'm personally working with somebody right now that I really don't think this person has given it all that they've got. And they're in the process of leaving, which is their prerogative, and that's totally fine. But you know, I think that's, you know, putting your head down and staying focused and charging and following the plan, whatever that plan is, and not deviating from the plan before you, and not looking up. I mean, so there's different decision points you can make. I have a friend of mine I was on the phone with last night, and he launched his business last September, and he's been working 70 hours a week, 6-7 days a week, every single week for the last, you know, not 10, 11 months. Mm-hmm. And, you know, his check is significant because of that, you know, because of the work ethic and the plan of attack. So, but not everybody can work like that.
But then would you recommend branding yourself apart, or would you do like easier duplicatable steps, or what's your approach, you know? The easier the better to duplicate, or you would build your brand and stand out?
I'm not a really big fan of like building your brand for the sake of making a name for yourself, honestly.
Okay.
I'd rather, you know, let your production do the talking rather than you do the talking. So I think, see, a lot of people get in this marketplace today, they want to do the talking and talk about how, you know, they're an expert in something that they've never actually done, or, you know, try to brand themselves as something that they're really not. Better if your objective is to make money in network marketing, go build that network marketing company and let your production do the talking. That will create the brand for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So now I have some questions that are kind of not even in network marketing niche.
That's cool.
Like, if you could choose a name, any name in the world, what would it be and why? And you have to answer quickly.
If I could choose any name for me?
Yes.
Todd. You know,
why?
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't change my name. I gave my 2 sons real Italian names because I got Todd.
Okay.
That's not a very Italian name, so I gave my 2 boys real, you know, Italian names, Gianni and Joey Falcone. So
Okay.
I'll stick with
why?
my name.
Why?
Because it's the name I was given. I can't change it. That's one thing I can't. I could. I don't know. Maybe I'll be like, Dude. I'll just change my name to Dude. Is that like Prince or Madonna? Dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, which comes first, community or conversation?
I'd say conversation.
And why?
Conversation creates community, doesn't it?
That's what I said, but then I got some different answers and concepts. But anyway.
But we're all subject to our own opinion. That's a beautiful thing.
Right. Okay. So, what would you say your major strengths, and what do you bring to the table?
My major strengths?
Yes.
Integrity, work ethic, willingness to learn, humility. But humility combined with, you know, confidence. Edging on cockiness.
Okay.
No, I'm serious. I mean,
Right.
you have to approach things with a level of confidence and conviction in what you're doing.
Right.
Sometimes that can be perceived as cocky, hopefully not arrogant. But at the same time, I'm humble enough to remember where I started, and, you know, that I still make plenty of mistakes, and I can always learn from all those mistakes I make.
Okay. Awesome. And then, if you had 5 hours on Earth to live, what would you do?
5 hours to live?
Yeah.
Wow. I would go surf Teopu in Tahiti.
Okay.
And that would pretty much be it, because I probably wouldn't live through that.
Okay.
But maybe I would actually, I don't know, before that I'd have to do something else pretty cool. I'd probably jump off of a giant cliff on a wingsuit and experience that whole thing of flying.
Okay.
And then I'd spend 4 hours with my kids and my wife. Actually 4.5 hours, and then I'd take off on one wave, and that'd probably be it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then that's basically covers some of my questions that I got prepared in this show.
Those are good. I like it.
Okay, so we're gonna meet on Oh, actually, we're gonna speak on November 3rd on stage at Michael's event.
You're gonna be on stage with me?
Yeah.
Awesome.
And
Cool.
Michael Burnoff, I spoke with him on Saturday.
Awesome.
And we're gonna meet at the MLSP event as well.
Yes, I will be there.
Yes, and so if you could share whatever, just to fill in some time for network marketers.
Fill in some time.
You just released a course that you said you interviewed successful people, and you say obviously you guys are busy, and people want to see in your head, in your smart heads, and what questions do you ask when you do the interviews? So.
Okay, so by the way, she's asking about, I did a series called the Network Marketing Mastery Interview Series, and what I did is I sat down 10 people for an hour, making a lot of money. I mean, I think the smallest earner in that group is maybe $50,000 a month or something like that. And I just sat down, and my questions are very, they start general and they get more specific. And so, like, how did you first get introduced to network marketing and when? What was your feelings or perception about network marketing prior to your introduction to it, and then how was that initial experience, and did you knock it out of the ballpark right away? And most of the time the answer's up no. What were some of the greatest challenges that you had, and how did you get through those challenges? What specifically are some of the action steps that you took to get you where you are today? And just digging a little bit more into the things that those individuals did to get where they are, and most of the time I would corner them and ask them specifically. I mean, tell me exactly what you do in terms of your prospecting and recruiting. And I ended every one of those interviews with this question: here's the deal. So you're in a hotel lobby. You're walking into an elevator. You get in this elevator. It's empty. And at the last minute, this hand comes in, and it's this person that comes in, and you're in there along with this person in the elevator, and they're like, hey, and they know who you are, and they're a network marketer. And they ask you this one question. You've only got the time between where you are and where you're going to end to answer the question. And they're like, hey, I know you're super successful in network marketing. If you could tell me one thing about becoming successful in this business, what would it be?
Right.
If that question was asked to me, and I just had to, answer before the doors open up, I'd just say, don't quit.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you could answer your own question about the steps you took to be successful, if you could share a little bit on that.
Yeah, I mean, the steps I took, I was willing. I didn't, I didn't know how to make money. The people that were in did, and so I followed their plan. I didn't say, well, let me do it my way. Let me try it my way. I did it the way that they were doing it, and I just didn't reinvent the wheel. And I worked hard, and in spite of not getting good results and getting my rear end handed to me and getting knocked over, I kept on getting up and wiping myself off and doing it again. And it was a couple years before I ever made anything. Like, it was 2 years. I mean, never done MLM, 2 years to make nothing. So I got a guy right now who's about ready to quit my business because he's only making $2,000 a month, working part-time. And I don't think he's given it his full all. I know he hasn't. But he's quitting. He's going to go someplace else, and good for him. Have fun.
And people jump from deal to deal to deal to deal before they actually start building the volume. And I listened to Mark Yarnell's call with Michael. They did, and he said, "Well, you're like in a circus, fly one side of the, and then if people don't like this, come over here, and they do they try to do multiple times." And you covered it in our last interview.
Yeah.
That just focus on one deal and stay as long as you want. I mean, as you see the fit, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Got to stay focused.
Are we done?
I don't know. It's your interview.
Oh gosh, I got you cornered. So give us some more value.
What do you have? What question do you want to ask me?
You covered the live events. When you network with people, live events. But you didn't actually cover in details. Like I did an interview with Greg Gomez, and he said, well, his career actually changed when he started going to live events because he was taking a break. He was kind of retired, and then he started going on all those events, and then he started doing joint ventures. And how is it possible for someone that is not well known to approach leaders and offer them doing like some joint ventures? Is it even?
I mean, I think now we're getting into a different subject. I mean, we're talking about people that are looking to do joint. When I hear joint venture, I hear affiliate marketing. It's not, joint ventures are not network marketing. So, they're different. So, affiliate marketing is cool. That's fine. But I mean, as far as my opinion with events, events are it's interesting. I think anytime you can get in front of information that's going to help you learn something that you don't know, that's going to stretch you, grow you, expand you, whatever, I think is good. The risk is, confusion. Like you start sending your team to events, and some people get confused because they're learning like these 82 different ways to market on the internet. And now they're like, well, what the heck should I do? And I'm really into the core fundamentals. It's like, talk to people, pick up the phone, have a conversation, show some of your business. You want to learn some of this internet stuff, you can do that. But people go to events and they learn, and then they run the risk of getting confused. It still doesn't change my opinion on going to events and being around a bunch of other like-minded people, because there's something really empowering about that, and just surrounding yourself with that energy. And you're running as a leader that's saying, hey, go to these events. You run the risk of, number one, you're exposing people to great information. Number two, you're exposing people to information that could be confusing. Number three, you can't control them anyhow, so it doesn't matter. I mean, you have to just let go. It's not like you own them. And so you can either suggest that they go, not suggest that they go, that's fine. And then, things happen. They might meet other people, and then they might meet somebody at a live event that you invited them to, and a year later they're now in their downline and taking people out of your team to go into this other company. And the only reason that they met that person was because you told them to go to that event.
Okay.
But could you control that? Nah.
Yeah. Right.
You can't.
Okay. And you shared with us that you did a blog post on listening, or what did you say just upstairs?
Yesterday. What did I do my blog post on yesterday? It's been 24 hours already. How to crush motivation. It's up on my whiteboard up there. I just talked about different things that you can do to completely, crush your downline and squash their dreams and eliminate, take their motivation away and put it in the trash can. And it's a combination of different things. It's anytime you plant the seed of doubt in your organization, you talk to somebody, even in confidence. Let's say you're in my downline, and maybe things aren't going as good, but I'm your upline. I'm the stable one. But I come to you going, oh, Jay, I don't know, gee, and you're like, well, you're looking to me as the rock, and the rock is coming to whine to you, and that's not good. If I got an issue, if I'm not feeling right about something, I go upline. I never take it downline. That's a lesson I learned a long time ago. It's just bad news. You're pouring poison downstream. It's not good. It can literally demolish an organization. I saw it happen in a group of mine over 10 years ago. I had a guy doing about $80,000 a month in volume, and he poured poison downstream, and his group collapsed completely. 80 grand gone. Wow. I mean, it was gone over a period of time, but it was gone as a result of it.
And I heard from Mark Yarnell in the book First Year Network Marketing. He said, when you're down, go up. When you're up, go down.
Yeah, exactly. The same philosophy. Yeah.
Okay. And I think that's it. We'll do some more later on.
Cool. Next shot from the pool.
Sure. I'll bring this with me. Okay.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.